All right, let's move on to headline number 3. So Albertsons is deploying Afresh AI tech across all 2,000 stores to help them reduce food waste. So according to Grocery Dive, the Afresh technology allows grocers to determine how much of a fruit or vegetable to order by crunching a variety of data points reflecting store level customer demand, historical sales data, and perishability. So Albertsons has made this commitment to reduce food waste by up to 50% with this technology by 2030. And Chris, last week I got put on the spot. This week you're going to get put on the spot, and it's coming right now.
You got put on the spot like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row. I loved it.
Yeah, it was not. Yes. Well, now it's your turn. The question comes to you from A&M today. This is that grocery fresh produce looks to have received another big boost on the heels of last week's announcement that Walmart's financial backing and partnership with vertical farming producer Plenty is now in action. So given the high growth rate of fresh produce and how it forms consumer impressions of the overall store, driving fresher product and cutting back on the historical 7 to 8% spoilage rate in this category, Chris, can you get more excited about this partnership with Albertsons and Afresh than the Albertsons AI salad bar?
Oh, awesome. That's a great ending to that question. Wow. Yeah, a lot. I love that. Loyal listeners. Yes. Inquiring minds want to know. And yes. One, thank you for your continued support and listening to the show that closely. That's why we love working with you guys. Yes, the AI salad bar it's a great reference point to this because yes, the AI salad bar, like I said, like probably not a whole hell of a lot of AI going on there really at the end of the day, maybe to some degree, but we still thought it was cool ultimately at the end of the day, what they're trying to do and the rationale behind it. But this is different. And this to me, this is big. So I would answer that question by 100%. I think I agree with you. I agree with what A&M is basically putting forward, that the idea here that you can capture that type of bottom line savings is huge. And it reminds me of my biggest takeaway, which I've talked about a couple of times already and continue to talk about in conversation I'm having with people, which is my biggest takeaway from NRF was around when it comes to AI and even process automation more broadly, is it works best when it can be inserted into standard processes being done over and over again. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes where subjective decision-making is also involved. And this is the perfect use case for that. We're talking about perishables ordering. Like, I bet at a lot of retailers, especially grocers, perishable ordering is done by sometimes the high school kid in the afternoon who's looking over everything and being like, oh, I think we need another carton of spinach here. And
yeah, the weather looks good for 4th of July. So let's order more hot dogs.
Right. Yeah. And how much more should I need? Well, let's get 25 cartons of them. It's all subjective. And so the fact that somebody is doing this makes a ton of sense. Explains why a little bit like Chris Rupp, when she interviewed us, was a little coy on where she was going with AI next because she had this waiting around the corner and didn't want to spill the beans on it, I'm guessing. But yeah, so net, I think it's a great move. And I think you'll see based on the track record that Afresh is having, another James McCann advised company, by the way, for those that follow our show pretty closely. This company is one to watch, and I think you'll see more of these announcements from other grocers to follow on.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Not much more to add here. I mean, everybody wins in this scenario. Albertsons saves money and time with labor and reducing food waste by half. That's significant within the next few years. So
that's a big damn goal that they have to hit. Yeah,
it is.
This is one part of that for sure, but that's a big audacious goal. Kudos to that.
Right. And I think, we, like you said, we talked to Chris Rupp, they're using AI for everything from, substitutions for customers to salad bars, but this really seems to be one that they should be focusing on and highlighting as a top use case for AI.
Yeah, any benefit flows to the bottom line because it's all spoilage, at the end of the day, rot that you're just trying to limit, and it makes sense.